All right. Day 6, week 2, chest day. We're starting with some weighted dips, just using a dumbbell between the legs as added weight. This is a great exercise if you want to strengthen not only your chest but your triceps. Just make sure you try to lean forward a little bit, as you see I'm doing here, in order to better focus the chest muscles. Otherwise, you could focus your tricep more or hurt your shoulder if you don't keep that form as tight as possible. Add the weight as you need it, or use a resistance band to decrease as needed. But I'm trying to work on my dips, so I want to start with that exercise while it's fresh. I love this exercise. It's great. I really feel it in the pecs and chest muscles. And then after that, we go into a ab exercise. Just kind of hold the dip position. Also functions as a great further kind of isometric hold for the chest while you work on your abs. Try to keep straight as much as possible without swinging. And we're focused on contracting those abs. So it's important to do ab exercises where you contract and lengthen the core. Here, going to do some push-ups. So I'm still doing 3 sets of each exercise. I just showing one because last week's videos I think were too long. The upload times were taking like maybe way too long, and there's just not that much to commentate about after the first set. So for the chest push-ups here, you want to kind of squeeze the chest together at the top. Remember, for the chest movement, you want to kind of bring the arms across the body. So the rings are a great alternative to doing push-ups on the floor, since they give you that mobility. They are a little bit more difficult, but something to keep in mind as you work your way up to more difficult progressions of the push-up. Certainly start on the floor if you think if that's a better starting point for you. I'm not too used to these. As you see, I'm not very stable on the rings going up and down, so I just use the rings because they add a little bit of instability to the movement. So I go straight from elevated to the floor, 3 sets of each. And then after that, we come up and do some resistance band exercises. Just kind of like a fly. You want to focus on keeping your body as rigid as possible, and kind of bring and contract the chest and focus on that contraction as you squeeze the muscle across your body. Obviously, symmetry is important. So after doing the right hand, go left. You see me doing kind of like a superset here, kind of going immediately from right to left, and I'll just jump forth, back and forth without any rest in between hands, because it decreases the rest time and makes it a little bit more difficult for the muscle. So after finishing a high-low movement, we go to a horizontal movement. You want to keep your arms extended and the band at a 90-degree angle. There's a couple different variations you can do here. I just do start with a static hold, and then when I start to feel my chest begin to fail, I kind of do some reps in and out to just finish the muscle group. And this is a great workout because it also forces your core to have to stabilize its movement, and it's great to incorporate some rotational resistance to your trunk and your core area as well, because the main focus of your core is to keep your body stable, right from top to bottom, kind of serving as that intermediate connection. So when you go to your higher, more weighted compound lifts, it's going to be very important to have a dynamic core that can adjust to weight loads. But after we do the right, we do the left. and we just jump back and forth and do a few sets of each. So there's so after the static hold, once again doing the in and out movement. Like I said, there's a few different variations, but always remember to stay hydrated during your workout. Extremely important. I probably go through a bottle that size at least during a workout. In this case, for the last set, I went with a slightly different alternative where you keep the arms extended and kind of rotate through the trunk. This works out the core a little bit more, but if you squeeze that pec muscle at the end of that contraction, you still get a little bit of chest activation too. So just to kind of finish out the chest workout here. So keep your form as tight as you can. Then after doing 3 sets of that, we go to the bottom up movement. Out of these 3 that I've done with the resistance band, this is probably the least important one. In general, working kind of the decline lower area of the pec is not as critical. If you just do one exercise for the chest, doing like a bench press or kind of that standard middle push position, will kind of hit everything you need as the ultimate exercise for the chest. So this is just kind of just additional exercise, you know, kind of like a bonus round. But after that, that's it for chest, and we go straight into core. You want to keep your legs as straight as possible. So you see the lines there as a guide, trying to keep your thigh from your knee to your lower back straight as you contract at the core. And if you feel, in this case, the resistance was a little bit high, so I dropped the lower resistance band. I wanted to keep going on this exercise though. So let's finish that out. And then since today is chest workout, I just throw in some exercises at the end to do some tricep work. So here we have an overhead extension. You gotta keep your elbows straight, keep your upper arm straight as you can, kind of extend at the elbow. You should feel it in your tricep quite a bit. And then after that, I just do a tricep extension with the band. So the good thing about the band is you can just kind of drop your body as needed to increase resistance, but it is a little awkward as it increases the resistance over the length of the movement. But this is just a standard side raise. I used to actually just do 1 set of this, but I actually added this into the set, so I'm doing 3 of these as part of the full set of exercises. So already getting benefits from these videos, pushing me a little bit harder, you know. So doing after 3 sets of those 5 exercises, we just go to some isometric work, trying to hold at the bottom there a little bit, but just go in, just kind of finishing out the core workout. When you're doing leg raise, some things you can do to make it a little bit more difficult is to keep your legs straight as much as you can, as well as trying to keep your lower back flat to the ground. When you drop your legs down and increase that resistance, there's going to be a tendency to want to lift and kind of arch your lower back from the mat. If you consciously pull that down and contract your chest, you're going to get a better workout. I do this for time, so I do it for about a minute working here. I usually don't like working exercises for a time duration, but sometimes it helps, because if you start to struggle, instead of stopping as part of as finishing a set, you just kind of take a rest and keep going for that time duration. But after that, we just do some leg flutters here. Same thing, you can try to keep your legs straight here as well, but I'm not quite that flexible yet working, but that's something that I'm working on. So hopefully you'll see that change and improve over time. But same thing here, I just try to keep the lower back flat, keep the core as tense as possible, and if you have to slow down, try to keep your legs up as best you can, and I just go for a minute here. And I'm struggling. And then I just finish with just an isometric hold, and that's the workout for the day. Just to kind of finish out the core workout, and that's it. So from now moving forward, my videos, I'm just going to be uploading the first set of the exercises that I do, just to try to shorten those videos and reduce my upload times a little bit, as well as make the videos a little bit more succinct. But you see, taking a rest right there and then going kind of right back up to it, is something that you can do as well, kind of push a little bit harder. But I hope you guys get a good workout in as well. Subscribe next time, and